You mentioned that you're going to meet our president of Burkina Faso, Traore. Out of curiosity, what's the first question you ask the guy and why?
Me asking the question?
Yes.
Hey, asking me a deep question. The first question I'll ask him is how can we duplicate the model of Burkina Faso? And what strategies can we put in place to overthrow our government? And what support is he willing to give? Should another young man take his model? Is he available? Some of the presidents we have are pieces of furniture that belong to the fire. They are trophies of colonization. We don't need them. In fact, funerals will be a blessing to some of them. Because they're neither doing us good, nor are we benefiting anything from them. Some of them need to die for Africa to go forward.
That's very true.
So my comment would say that if right now we can walk around any of the African spaces and we find a young man who wants to implement what you're doing, what kind of military support will you give as Burkina Faso and risk your reputation with the rest of the world? But we know that we start building the Africa that we want. I'm ready to go for war, by the way. I'm ready.
Interesting question, actually.
I'm ready.
Maponga nails it. The first knife-cut question he would fire at Traore is brutal and honest. How can we duplicate the Burkina Faso model? What strategies will you share to overthrow captured governments? And what concrete support would you give any young leader who tries to follow your path? He isn't flirting with tact. He wants a manual. Logistics, training, border plans, chain of command, and the political cover that makes a revolution stick. Maponga wants to know if Traore will risk his reputation, risk sanctions, and risk war to seed a network of leaders who will actually build Africa instead of presiding over its looting. That is the question that wakes him up at night. I co-sign that line fully because revolutions that stop at a single leader turn into new dynasties. So the question I would put to Traore directly is this: how will you convert your revolt into institutions, not personality? What safeguards will you build now to prevent the military from becoming the new kleptocracy? And how will you protect civilians, diversify the economy, and lock in civilian oversight before the honeymoon ends? I want specifics. Schools that teach civic duty, industrial plans that keep minerals on African soil, transparent procurement systems, a timeline for returning power to accountable civilian bodies, and regional pacts, so one country's coup doesn't shatter its neighbors. Maponga asks if Traore will help others risk everything. My question is the follow-up. If others succeed, will Traore help ensure they don't become the very thing they overthrew? Revolution without institutions is a replay script.